The Russian Grand Prix, Russian, Grand Prix России, Romanized, Grand Prix России, is an annual motor racing event held at Sochi Autodrome, a permanent circuit built around the Olympic Park in Sochi, as part of the Formula One World Championship. The race was first held briefly in the 1910s in St. Petersburg of the Russian Empire. Plans were made to host a Formula One event in Moscow for the 1983 season as the Grand Prix of the Soviet Union, but these plans fell through. In 2010, it was officially announced that the Russian city of Sochi, which was also preparing to host the 2014 Winter Olympics, would host a new event on the Formula One calendar, beginning in 2014 under a 7-year deal. The event is notable for having only ever been won by Mercedes during the race's establishment as a World Championship event. Formula One decided on the 24th of February 2022, in reference to the Russian invasion of Ukraine, that it would be impossible to hold the 2022 Russian Grand Prix under the circumstances. This has been widely interpreted as a cancellation of the event. The Russian Grand Prix is scheduled to be back in the region of St. Petersburg from 2023 onwards, when it will take place at the newly minted Circuit Agora Drive, moving away from the current racing grounds at Sochi. 1910s The Russian Grand Prix was run twice, first in 1913 and then 1914 at a circuit in St. Petersburg. The first race was won by Russian racing driver Georgy Suvarin, whilst German Willi Scholl won the 1914 event. Following the outbreak of the First World War and the Russian Civil War, the Russian Grand Prix was abandoned, and it was not resumed after the abolition of the Tsarist Empire and establishment of the Soviet Union. 1913 race results: 1. Georgy Suvarin, Benz, 2, 23 minutes 54 seconds and 6 milliseconds 2. Ivan Ivanov, Russo Bald, plus 2 minutes 56 seconds and 4 milliseconds 3. René Nathome, Metallurgic, plus 5 minutes 24 seconds and 4 milliseconds 1914 race results: 1. Willi Scholl, Benz, 1, 48 minutes 32 seconds and 2 milliseconds 2. Stepan Ovsyannikov, Vauxhall, plus 10 minutes 31 seconds and 6 milliseconds 3. Eugenio Buria d'Argentine, Aquila Italiana, plus 13 minutes 8 seconds and 6 milliseconds Formula One Sochi Autodrome, 2014 to 2021. Plans for a Grand Prix in Russia emerged in the early 1980s, with a proposed circuit in Moscow to be run under the title of the Grand Prix of the Soviet Union. The race was included on a provisional calendar for 1983, but bureaucratic barriers prevented the Grand Prix from being held, and the race was removed from all subsequent revisions of the calendar. Nevertheless, Bernie Ecclestone continued in his quest to organize a race behind the Iron Curtain. Instead, Hungary became the first communist country to host a race, joining the calendar in 1986. In 2001, Vladimir Putin, president of Russia, expressed personal support to the project of the Pulkovsko Ring, near the Pulkovo airport, but the race never came to fruition. Another attempt was made in 2003, with the Moscow Council approving a project to build a track in Molzhananovsky district of Moscow. The project was abandoned after a dispute over the commercial contract. In September 2008, it was revealed that work was to begin on a Formula One circuit to be located at the village of Fedyukovo, Volokolamsky district of the Moscow province, approximately 77 kilometers, 48 miles, away from Moscow. Known as the Moscow Raceway, the track was designed by Herman Tilke to host both Formula One and MotoGP races. The plan to host a Grand Prix at the Moscow Raceway was never realized, but unlike the Pulkovsko Ring and Nagotino Island projects, the circuit was completed, and in 2012, hosted rounds of the Formula Renault 3.5 and 2.0 series, which became the first internationally accredited motorsport events to hold a round in Russia, as well as the FIA GT1 World Championship, and the Superbike World Championship. Vitaly Petrov became Russia's first Formula One driver in 2010, when he joined Renault, adding further momentum to the project. Bernie Ecclestone expressed a desire to see Formula One travel to Russia at a circuit in or near Moscow or at the resort city of Sochi. After several decades of attempting to re-establish the race, the new Russian Grand Prix was officially announced on the 14th of October 2010 for a debut in 2014, running through to 2020. The race is held in the resort city of Sochi, the host city of the 2014 Winter Olympics, at the Sochi Autodrome, a 5.9-kilometer street circuit which passes around the venues of Sochi's Olympic Park. Race summaries: The inaugural event was held on the 12th of October 2014, and was won by British driver Lewis Hamilton, followed by German driver Nico Rosberg, both from the Mercedes-Benz team, and Valtteri Bottas, of Williams. Mercedes' 1-2 finish also saw them claim their first constructors' title in Formula One. The 2015 race was held on the 11th of October 2015. The weekend saw a massive crash for Toro Rosso driver Carlos Sainz Jr. in the third free practice session, after he lost control of his car at turn 13, hit a wall, and went into the Tech Pro barriers. He was declared fit to start the race. Nico Rosberg took pole position, but he was forced to retire in the early stages due to a faulty throttle. His teammate Lewis Hamilton took the win, ahead of Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel, and Force India's Sergio Perez, who had initially lost third place on the final lap, but retook it after Kimi Raikkonen and Valtteri Bottas collided while battling each other for third, with Bottas retiring on the spot and Raikkonen receiving a 30-second post-race penalty for the collision. Mercedes also secured their second consecutive Constructors' Championship, having done so at the previous year's event. The 2016 event was held on the 1st of May 2016, moved forward to the fourth round of the calendar, unlike the previous two events. The race saw a big crash at the start at turn 2 that saw Nico Hülkenberg, Esteban Gutierrez, and Rio Haryanto all eliminated, while Sebastian Vettel was hit in the back by Daniil Kvyat going into turn 2, then he was hit again at turn 3, causing him to spin out and crash out of the race. On the Thursday after the event, Red Bull announced that they demoted Kvyat back to Toro Rosso for the rest of the season, switching places with 18-year-old Dutchman Max Verstappen. Nico Rosberg was the winner, with Lewis Hamilton making it a 1-2 finish for Mercedes. The 2017 event was held on the 30th of April 2017, and saw Valtteri Bottas secure his first career win in Formula One, ahead of the Ferrari pair of Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen. Vettel and Raikkonen locked out the front row, but both were passed by Bottas on the run to turn 2. The race saw Fernando Alonso unable to start due to a problem with his power unit, and Romain Grosjean and Jolyon Palmer eliminated in a crash that saw the Renault driver launch the Haas driver into the air and into the barrier. Both drivers escaped unhurt. Bottas took the win by just 0.7 seconds from Vettel in the end, with Raikkonen setting the fastest lap. The 2018 race was held on the 30th of September 2018, moved back from its April slot to fill a vacancy left by the Malaysian Grand Prix, which was discontinued at the end of 2017. The event saw Valtteri Bottas take pole position 1 year after securing his first ever victory at the circuit. The race was notable for Mercedes ordering Bottas to let teammate Lewis Hamilton to overtake for second place at turn 13 on lap 26. Hamilton himself took his third win at the circuit, with Bottas second ahead of Sebastian Vettel. The result sparked discussions about the future of team orders in the sport, with some even calling for an outright ban on the practice. In the 2019 Russian Grand Prix, Charles Leclerc was on pole ahead of Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel, but Vettel jumped the both of them going into turn 2, and led the race until lap 26, when he suffered a MGUK failure. A lap later, George Russell crashed into the barriers at turn 9, which was an apparent wheel nut failure, as stated by the Williams team, which prompted Robert Kubica to retire in order for the team to conserve parts. After the safety car, Leclerc tried an unsuccessful overtaking maneuver on Valtteri Bottas, and Lewis Hamilton took another victory, with Bottas and Leclerc second and third respectively. 2022 Grand Prix cancellation on the 24th of February 2022, in reference to the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Formula One decided that it would be impossible to hold the Russian Grand Prix in the current circumstances. This has been widely interpreted as a cancellation of the 2022 race. The event has been deleted from the official 2022 schedule. There will now be a 3-week break between round 16 on September 9 through 11, 2022 in Italy, and round 17 on September 30 through October 2, 2022 in Singapore. Planned move to Agora Drive, 2023 onwards. The race is due to move north from Sochi Autodrome to Agora Drive near St. Petersburg from 2023 onwards. Winners repeat winners. Drivers in bold are competing in the Formula One Championship in the current season. Repeat winners, constructors, teams in bold are competing in the Formula One Championship in the current season. A pink background indicates an event which was not part of the Formula One World Championship. Repeat winners, engine manufacturers in bold are competing in the Formula One Championship in the current season. A pink background indicates an event which was not part of the Formula One World Championship. By year, a pink background indicates an event which was not part of the Formula One World Championship. References external links.